Israel launches second airstrike on Gaza after another incendiary balloon attack. Israel warplanes have fired missiles into Gaza for the second time in 3 days in response to incendiary balloons being sent across the border from Hamas controlled territory, according to reports. The balloons attached to bombs or other weapons reported caused several large fires in Israel territory. Hours later, terrified Gazans took to social media to describe the retaliatory attacks. One man said a nearby explosion shook the house and begged, "Not again, please." Another person said missiles had been raining on Gaza non-stop for an hour. Israel Defense Forces said its fighter jets pounded Hamas military compounds and a rocket launch site late on Thursday in response to the balloons. And it warned that its forces were preparing for a variety of scenarios, including a resumption of hostilities. The force later said sirens were sounding in southern Israel. The sirens are part of Israel's air raid system designed to warn residents of incoming attacks. Many homes have bunkers or other safe spaces for families to seek refuge in. Israel and Hamas agreed a ceasefire last month, which brought an end to their latest round in fighting. Israel media outlets said locations in the north and south of the strip were being targeted. Last month's truce ended in 11-day war which claimed the lives of 243 Gazans and 11 Israelis. However, the agreement has proved to be shaky. Thursday marked the third day in a row that incendiary balloons were sent from Gaza into Israel. There were no immediate reports of casualties from the strikes, which could be heard from Gaza City. In the early hours of Wednesday, IDF planes also carried out airstrikes on the blockaded Palestinian territory. Israel said it targeted Hamas facility without killing or wounding anyone. This week's hundreds of Gazans protested against the March of the Flags in occupied East Jerusalem. The event, staged by Israel far nationalists, was deemed provocative by many Palestinians. The march marked the anniversary of Israel's 1967 occupation of the city's eastern part. It came amid rising tensions between Jewish and Palestinian communities following last month's fighting and displacement of Arab families from the Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood of East Jerusalem. Some Jewish ultranationalists who took part in rally were heard chanting "Death to Arabs" in Hebrew. The march was an early test for Israel's new government. Last week, Naftali Bennett ousted Benjamin Netanyahu as prime minister following a tenure of 12 years. Earlier today, Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh met the Speaker of Morocco's parliament and opposition politician during a visit to build support for Palestinian cause. The meeting came months after North African nation upgraded diplomatic relations with Israel. Mr. Haniyeh had already met the Islamist PJD, the biggest party in Morocco's governing coalition. In December, Morocco agreed to improve relations with Israel in a deal with the United States that included US recognition of Rabat's sovereignty over Western Sahara. The Algeria-backed Polisario Front wants the contested region to become an independent state. Thank you.